Hello everyone, welcome to Alfonso Academy. I am Sir Peter Alfonso and this is the fourth part of the chapter Periodic Classification of Element. In this part we are going to study about the electronic configuration of the elements in the modern periodic table. So first of all we must know what is electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is the distribution of the electrons in the shells of an atom. So it is the distribution of the electrons in the shells which are around the nucleus of an atom of any element, and it is determined by the number of electrons an atom is having, and number of electron is same as the atomic number of that element. So because number of electrons are equal to number of protons, because atom is neutral, and number of protons means the atomic number of that element. So indirectly we can say that electronic configuration is determined by the atomic number of an element. Next we have to understand how to write the electronic configuration. So let's take an example of lithium. Lithium has atomic number as 3 and its electronic configuration is written as 2, 1. So the first shell is having 2 electrons and second shell is having 1 electron. In the middle, that it is the nucleus of the atom of lithium, and nucleus is composed of neutrons and protons. So it is composed of protons and neutrons. So you see that there are only 2 electrons placed in the first shell. Why not directly 3 in the first shell? Because the first shell can hold up to only 2 electrons. That is its maximum capacity. The first shell is named as shell K. So I have shown the table over there. The first column shows the name of the shell, K, L, M, N. The second column shows the number of the shell, first, second, third, fourth. And the third column shows the formula by which we can determine the maximum electrons which the shell can hold. The first shell can hold up to only 2 electrons. That is its maximum capacity. L, the second shell can hold up to 8 electrons. Third shell can hold up to 18, and fourth shell can hold up to 32 electrons. So there are only 2 electrons placed in the first shell of atom of lithium. The remaining electrons have to be placed in the second shell. So the third electron is placed in the second shell. Similarly, argon has atomic number 18, and the electrons are placed like first shell has 2 electrons, second shell has 8 electrons, which is its maximum capacity, and the remaining 8 electrons are placed in the third shell. It has electronic configuration as 2, 8, 8, and the atom of argon is said to be neutral because it does not react with any other element. Argon does not react with any other element naturally because its octet is complete, because it has 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So it cannot react with any other element because its octet is complete. And let's take an example of potassium. It has atomic number 19 and its electronic configuration is written as 2, 8, 8, 1. Now why not directly as 2, 8, 9? Because third shell is having capacity of 18 electrons. So why we cannot write 9 electrons in the outermost shell? Because there is a rule which says that an outermost shell, which is called as the valence shell, can hold up to only maximum of 8 electrons. It might be third shell, second shell, fourth shell, any shell. If it is valence shell, then it can hold up to only 8 electrons maximum. So that is why it is not written as 2, 8, 9, because if it is 9 in the last shell, then it will be more than 8. So it is written, the electronic configuration of potassium is 2, 8, 8, 1. For calcium it is 2, 8, 8, 2. So we have 20 elements in our syllabus till standard 10th, and we have to learn those 20 electronic configuration of the first 20 elements, and then after 20 atomic number 20, the electronic configuration is written in a bit different way. There is an introduction to orbitals which you will learn in 11th standard. So by now you have to learn the electronic configuration till atomic number 20. Within a period, the neighboring elements differ slightly in their properties. That is, the difference is not much in the properties of the elements which are close to each other in the same period, but the distant elements differ widely in their properties. Even though they are in the same period, they show many differences in the physical and chemical properties. Take for example lithium and oxygen, which are in the same period but they are distant from each other. Lithium is a metal, oxygen is non-metal. Lithium is solid, oxygen is gaseous in state, and there are many other differences in the physical and chemical properties between these two elements. They differ widely in their properties. But if you take an example of sodium and magnesium, which are the elements of period 3 and which are very close to each other, both are metals, both are highly reactive, both are shiny, both are fairly soft. They show many similarities in their physical and chemical properties. They do not show much difference. Even though sodium is slightly more reactive than magnesium, there is not much difference in their properties. Elements in the same group shows similarities and gradation in their properties. If you consider a group, the elements are very similar to each other in their properties, and as you go down the group, there is gradation in their properties. That is, their properties repeat, but there is a small change in their properties. Their properties change by very small degree. These characteristics of groups and periods in the modern periodic table is because of the electronic configuration of the elements in the modern periodic table. It is the electronic configuration of the elements which decides the groups and the period in which the element is to be placed. Now, if you go through group 1 elements and write their electronic configuration and observe the similarity in the configuration, you will find that the number of electrons in the outermost shell is 1. It is equal. Lithium has electronic configuration as 2,1, sodium has 2,8,1, potassium has 2,8,8,1. So there is 1 electron in the outermost shell. The number of electrons in the outermost shell are equal. Similarly, if you observe group 2 elements, beryllium has 2 electrons in the outermost shell, magnesium has 2 electrons in the outermost shell, calcium also has 2 electrons in the outermost shell. The number of electrons in the outermost shell, those are the valence electrons, are equal. Similarly, if you observe any other group, the number of valence electrons will be equal within a group. If you take suppose halogen family group 17 elements, which includes the elements like fluorine, chlorine, number of valence electrons or the number of electrons present in the outermost shell are equal. There are 7 number of electrons in the outermost shell. So this is the first characteristics within a group. The number of valence electrons within a group are same, they are equal. The second characteristics, the number of shells as you go down the group goes on increasing by a number of 1. So if you see here, lithium has 2 shells, sodium has 3 shells, potassium, the electrons are placed in 4 shells. So here the electrons are placed in 2 shells, then 3 shells and 4 shells. So the number of shells goes on increasing within a group by a number of 1. Beryllium, there are 2 shells, magnesium 3 shells, calcium, the electrons are placed in 4 shells. So number of shells goes on increasing within a group if you go from up to down, top to down. So this is the second characteristic within a group. And the one more thing you have to observe within a group, as you go down, the distance of the outermost electron within an atom goes on increasing. See this distance. This is nucleus. This is the outermost electron of lithium. This distance is lesser as compared to this distance. This distance is lesser as compared to this distance. So that means as you go down the group from top to down, the distance of the outermost electron from the nucleus, from the center of the atom, goes on increasing. This is an important point. We'll come back to it later. Next, let's talk about periods. Let's consider, for example, period 2, which has the elements lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, and see their electronic configuration, which I have written over here. You'll see that the number of valence electrons are not the same this time. They differ. In fact, they increase by a number of 1, but number of shells are same. The electrons are placed in 2 shells in second period. So there are 2 shells for the electronic configuration of every element, but the number of valence electrons are increasing by 1. So as the atomic number of the elements within a period in a periodic table, as we move from left to right, increases by 1, the valence electrons are also increasing by 1. So next, let's consider example of period 3, which has the elements sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. You can see that the electrons are placed in 3 shells. Every electronic configuration of every element has 3 shells in period 3, but the number of valence electrons are increasing by 1. So these are the two characteristics of a period. The number of valence electrons increase by 1 as we go from left to right within a period, and the number of shells remain the same. So we can say that the elements with the same number of shells occupied by the electrons belong to the same period. In the modern periodic table, the electrons are filled in the same shell as we go from left to right within a period, and at the start of the next period a new shell is introduced. A new shell gets filled up by the electrons. Take for example the last element of the period 3, it's argon, which has the electronic configuration as 2,8,8. So that means there are 3 shells which are occupied. At the start of the next period, which is the 4th period, it is potassium with atomic number 19. The next electron is placed in the next shell, which is the 4th shell. The 4th shell starts filling up. So at the start of every new period, a new shell gets introduced. A new shell starts filling up. Next, let's see the chemical reactivity of the elements. The chemical reactivity of the elements in the modern periodic table is determined by the number of valence electron and the shell number of the valence shell. The information on these very two important points is obtained from the position of the element in the modern periodic table. Let's take for example group 1 elements. They have 1 valence electron and they are very reactive as compared to the other elements in the other groups. They have valency as 1 and they can easily bond with another element by sharing or donating that electron to form a stable electronic configuration. As well as the elements of group 17, the halogen family, has 7 electrons as valence electrons, and then they need only 1 electron to form stable electronic configuration. So they can easily either accept 1 electron or form a bond by covalent bonding with another element to form stable electronic configuration. So this is the first point. The valency of an element affects the chemical reactivity of the element. Second point, as the number of shells goes on increasing, the distance of the valence shell from the center of the atom, which is the nucleus, goes on increasing. Therefore, the power of attraction from the nucleus towards the last electrons, the valence electrons, goes on decreasing. So as you go down the group, at every stage a shell is being added. So that increases the distance of the valence electron or the valence shell from the center of the atom, and because of this the power of attraction from the nucleus of that atom decreases. Now if we consider an example of group 1 elements like lithium, sodium, potassium and draw its electronic configuration, we'll find that lithium, the electrons are placed in 2 shells. They are placed in 2 shells. For sodium, the electrons are placed in 3 shells. For potassium, they are placed in 4 shells. So lithium has 2 shells, sodium atom has 3 shells, and potassium atom has 4 shells. So number of shells are increasing by 1 as you go down the group. This increases the distance of the valence electron from the center of the atom. This increases the distance of valence electron from the center of the atom. So the distance of valence electron from the center of atom for sodium is more as compared to lithium. The distance of valence electron from the center of the atom is more for potassium as compared to sodium and lithium. So potassium, we can say it is more reactive. Why? Because the power of attraction of the nucleus becomes less because this electron is gone far, and the power of attraction towards this electron from the nucleus becomes less, and potassium can lose this electron more easily as compared to sodium or lithium, and this makes us to say that potassium is more reactive as compared to sodium or lithium. Now group 1 has elements which are the most reactive elements in the full periodic table. The elements are francium and cesium. These two elements are the most reactive elements in the whole periodic table. At the end of this video, you have to remember few basic things like the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic numbers in modern periodic table. The vertical columns are called as groups. There are total 18 groups. The chemical properties of the elements within a group show similarity and gradation as you go down the group. The horizontal rows are called as periods. There are total 7 periods, and the properties of the elements change as you go from left to right within a period. So that's it in this part. Next part will come with the periodic trends in the modern periodic table. Hope you have understood whatever I have taught you in this video. Please like this video and please comment if you have liked anything from this video, whether it be the information I have provided with, or whether it be for your doubts getting cleared after watching this video, or whether it be for my teaching style. I'll wait for your comments. And thanks for the comments, nice, positive, motivating comments on my previous videos. Thank you very much for watching.